Have you ever gone into a comic book store and heard somebody say the word chase variant? Or maybe retailer incentive variant or a secret variant? And wonder to yourself, what the heck does that even mean? Well, in this video, we're going to get down into it and figure out what those are. So stick around. Hey guys, so welcome back. My name is Edwin, the Comic Jabroni, and in this video, we're going to talk about a different variant that you may or may not be aware of, and you've heard it by one name, but you actually know it by another. And that's going to be chase variants. Here recently, there was a Am I a Comic Book Nerd challenge going around YouTube, and myself and a few other comic YouTube friends actually answered these 25 questions. Well, I watched a few of those, and in some of them, there was a question that YouTubers really didn't know what it was. And the question was, have you ever bought a chase or store exclusive variant?
Have you ever bought chases or store exclusives? I don't know what a chase is. I think that's a piece of furniture, and I don't own a chase. But
have you ever bought chases or store exclusives?
Okay, I'm not sure what a chase is, but the answer to this question is a definite yes.
So my buddy Kenny from Comic Head 84's channel, he said, I don't know what a chase is, but I think it's a piece of furniture. And then my other buddy Kevin from Superpower Review, he didn't know what a chase variant was either. And these two are good friends of mine that are very respected in this comic book game. They didn't really know what a chase variant was, but they probably did. They just never had heard of it called a chase variant. Well, chase variants can kind of be broken down into a few different categories, right? We can have retailer incentive variants. We can have actual chase variants that are polybagged, and then we can have secret variants that come out on New Comic Book Day. Variants can be called chase variants, so named because fans are expected to chase after these covers. Chase variants are printed in much smaller quantities than the standard cover and are usually tightly distributed on a ratio system. It's not uncommon for a book to have multiple chase variants, each distributed at a different sales ratio. So you may see a major comic having a 1 in 10 variant, a 1 in 25 variant, and so on and so forth. As you can guess, this means that there's only one copy of the chase variant for every 10 copies of a standard cover a retailer ordered. Because some stores will order more books than they need in order to nab a few extra variants, it's common to find chase variants sold for a lot more than their cover price, so the store can recoup its losses. So that paragraph right there I read from a website called bookriot.com. I'm going to link that in the description below. So, as you heard there, they were really talking about retailer incentives, and we all kind of know what that is, right? When a book comes out on New Comic Book Day, you're going to have the regular cover. You might even have a regular B cover of it, but then you start getting into the higher ratio variants of a 1 in 10, a 1 in 25, 1 in 50. I've even seen them go as high as 1 in 1,000. So what does that mean? Well, a retailer is having to buy 10 copies of the regular cover so that they can get one copy of that 1 in 10, and 25 copies so they can get 1 in 25. So I have a couple examples of those for you. Just here recently, I bought a copy of WWE issue number 1, the 1 in 100 variant, and that is the Macho Man variant right there. So this is the 1 in 100 Macho Man variant. It is a chase variant because you're chasing for, like I did, you're chasing for this cover. So the retailers would have to have bought 100 copies of that WWE number 1 so that they could have one copy of this. I've usually seen variants in this nature go for whatever the ratio is. So if it's a 1 in 100, I've seen them go for $100. Sometimes they go for less. Sometimes, like this one, they can go for a lot more. Here is a slabbed copy of Detective Comics 866. Now, if you look on the top, it does say variant cover, and this is an homage to Detective Comics 69. Now, this is a 1 in 25 variant, retailer incentive variant to Detective Comics 866. So, retailers had to buy 25 copies of the regular cover so that they could get one copy of this. So when you slab a lot of these retailer incentives, they won't even tell you what the ratio is. It'll just say variant cover. So that gets us through the retailer incentives. But what were the other two that I talked about? We got secret variants, and we have polybag chase variants. So last year, Powers of 10 released, and this is issue number 3. This is the regular A cover. But on top of this cover, there was another secret variant that came out, and this can be included in a chase variant because people were out there chasing for these, and that is Powers of 10 issue number 3, and there is the secret variant to it. You can tell that there are a couple little differences in what the cover looks like. Almost looks exactly the same, except in this one you have Magik and Nightcrawler instead of the newer versions of those characters in Powers of 10. There have been quite a few of these secret variants come out. I remember there was an Avengers that came out about 2 years ago that had Hawkeye in his old costume and then Hawkeye in his newer MCU costume. I think Venom issue number 7 or 8, there was a cover with Venom on the front, and then there was a secret variant with Venom and his tongue coming out, and those were chase secret variants. Now, the way to stay on top of this and to kind of figure out, hey, are there secret variants coming out? You know, you're gonna have to look online. A lot of times, the day before New Comic Book Day, there's gonna be websites out there like comicsheatingup.com or comicbookinvest.com. They're going to release, you know, they're going to have articles coming out telling you, hey, tomorrow when you're at your New Comic Book Day store, or your local comic book shop, make sure you're looking in the stack of New Comic Book Day books for this secret variant. So that is another version of a chase variant, but there's one more that I want to get into. So the last set of chase variants that I want to talk about are polybagged chase variants. 2 years ago, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 25, which was the start of the Shattered Grid storyline, these released, and they came in these black polybags. You had no idea what was inside the bag other than it was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 25, but each one could contain, I think, 6 or 7 different covers. And they were the covers with the Rangers helmet, and they were shattered. I've got 3 different versions for you here. You see the Black Ranger, the Red, and the Pink Ranger. But there were the other Rangers as well. You had the Pink Ranger, you had the Yellow Ranger, you had the Blue Ranger, you also had the Green Ranger, which was one that people were chasing after. You would probably buy like 10 of these and maybe get one. You probably didn't get any. But there was also the White Ranger where he's holding that sword of his. Now that was the true chase out of these polybags, guys. Another polybag chase variant that I can remember very clearly was last year with the Walking Dead's anniversary issues that came out that were also polybag. Now this is Walking Dead issue number 1 that came out of that polybag. The reason I call these chase variants is you could buy a bunch of these, you know, Walking Dead number 1 or Walking Dead issue 19. I'm going to show you issue 19 right there. And each polybag would have a different variation to the cover. One would be colored with the trade dress. Another one would be the Virgin cover of it. Another one was the sketch cover. There were different covers. And the ones you really wanted were the pencil sketch versions of it, but you'd have to open up the polybags and chase after those pencil sketch, and then the sketch and the pencils were the ones that were chased after the most and the ones that were going to get you the most money. When you found the ones like this that had the trade dress, these were the most common of them. Now, there are ratios on how many were in the poly bags. I don't exactly have those numbers, but you can go online and find, hey, if I bought 25 of these issue number 1s poly bagged, how many of those would come with the trade dress? How many would be the virgin cover? How many would be the sketch? And how many would be the pencils of it? Those 4 right there is what you would find in those poly bags. So a chase variant, guys, is simply that. It is a variant of a comic book that you are kind of expected to go chase after. If you like more of these type of videos of what the heck is this type of variant, you're definitely gonna wanna check out this playlist right here where I go over other what the heck is. And if you've already seen all of those, you might want to check this video out down here and see what else I've got on the Comic Jabronis channel. And also make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and subscribing to the Comic Jabroni. We are close to 1,500 subscribers and I am trying to hit that here within the next couple of months. But everybody, thanks for watching. Take it easy and peace.